This is A Game. Fast acting, long lasting, with no side effects.
Hey all my Crimsonites, and welcome to the Crimson Cure channel, where we embrace our femininity, increase our womanly value, and celebrate our brothers. So join me on our feminine journey to learn, heal, and grow. Hey there, my Crimsonites, and welcome to the Crimson Cure channel. I'm your host, femininity coach, and author of The Crimson Cure, and this is my perspective. So we got a sad story coming out of Houston, Texas, where a CPS worker, a Black woman in Houston, is caught on video telling a 14-year-old girl that has come into the care and jurisdiction of the CPS there that she needs to become a prostitute. You heard me correctly. Y'all have no shame. You a sex trafficker at best. Let's go ahead. I'm going to share my screen and I'm going to actually read the story. Here we go. Let me make it bigger for you guys so you can see it. Okay. CPS worker caught on camera telling a 14-year-old to become a sex worker. This is the mother, and this is the CPS worker whose identity has been blurred out for whatever reason. I don't know why I want to blur that out. Anyway, a child protective services worker in Houston, Texas, is coming under fire after a video was released of her appearing to tell a child to become a sex worker. Keisha Baisley, a mother of 9 kids, called on CPS to help her with her daughter, who she said was running away and causing trouble at school. However, the teenager soon warned her mother that the worker had been making inappropriate suggestions to her. The Houston CPS worker allegedly told the teen to become a prostitute. The teenager said that the worker was telling her to go into sex work and captured a video of the incident. I may play this, perhaps. Baisley's daughter asked the worker for food, but she received a very unexpected response. The worker tells the girl, if you're going to be a HOE, be a real HOE. Baisley immediately filed a complaint with CPS after seeing the video. If me, the parent, was to do something like this to my child, I would be bashed, Baisley told Fox 26. I would be called a horrible parent. I would lose my kids. This should not happen to girls in their care. It should not happen. It's unacceptable. After receiving the complaint, CPS Commissioner Jamie Masters came to Baisley's home in Houston to personally apologize to her and her daughter. Melissa Lanford, a spokesperson for the Texas Department of Family and Protective Services, also issued a statement to Fox 26 regarding the situation. DFPS is aware of the video and has taken action, Lanford said in a statement. The person in the video, who was employed as a CPS support staff, was dismissed from her position August 10th. The safety and appropriateness with which children in care must be treated is our paramount concern. Nothing less will be tolerated. Family law attorney Mike Schneider told Fox 26 that CPS would have good reason to take a child away from a parent who told their child to become a prostitute. He also said that this is the first time he has seen the CPS commissioner travel to apologize to someone. I've never seen it happen before, where the commissioner of CPS comes in from Austin just to apologize about something horrible that's been done to a child involved with CPS. It's bad enough if it's just one bad rogue worker. It concerns me that it may be bigger than that, and they need to make sure it's not just one person, and they've got to find a way to protect these kids. Baisley's daughter is reportedly among dozens of foster children living in hotels throughout Harris County. According to Community Impact, 395 children in Texas foster care do not have a suitable placement as of August 2021. In October 2019, there were just 32 children without such a placement. That's interesting. From 2019 to 2021, it ballooned to hundreds, almost 400. That's significant. Anyway, DFPS is seeking over $80 million in additional funding as part of a state Senate bill to address the crisis. The bill would allow the department to hire over 300 additional caseworkers and help the children find appropriate housing. The importance of this funding cannot be overstated, Lanford told Community Impact. It is the difference between a real placement for these older children and continuing to live in a CPS office or hotel. So I'm going to stop sharing. I decided not to show the video, although I will put the link to the article or the video in the description box so that you guys can check that out yourself. So let's go ahead and get right down to it. First of all, the mother is at fault. The mother has 9 children. She has 9 children. Not 1, not 2, not 4, not 6, 9. The 14-year-old, I'm not sure if the 14-year-old is the oldest or not. But they tried to make the 14-year-old the bad guy. She's running away. She's causing trouble at school. Ma'am, this is your fault. Your fault that you study laid up and pushed out 9 whole human beings with no father in the home. There's no structure in the home. There's no real love in the home. There's no guidance in the home. There's no discipline in the home. There's no protection in the home. There's no problem solving in the home. This 14-year-old girl is being made to be the secondary mama. We all know how it go. If your mama had a bunch of kids and you was anywhere near the oldest or competent to babysit and all that type of stuff, you had to be the second mama, while at the same time being under her jurisdiction as a child yourself. Too much tremendous pressure going on in that house for probably the older set of the 9 children. And this girl is cracking under pressure. She's 14, so she just hit puberty not too long ago. Her hormones are changing, her mind is changing, and nobody to walk her through these things, nobody to tell it to, nobody to confide in with it. Her mother is frazzled and doesn't know what to do with 9 kids. Yet, at some point, you kept making the decision to have these kids over and over and over with however many baby daddies it is. So what we're not going to do is blame the dads and ask where the fathers are. Ask her where the fathers are. Okay? Ask the mother, where are the fathers of these children? And why isn't she married to the father before having 9? 9. So you can't tell me she's not subsisting off of the state, because as soon as something was going on with her child, she called that 14-year-old's daddy. It was Zaddy. She called CPS. That's the daddy. That's the daddy. That's the one that's paying Section 8, because ain't no way you're paying market value rent for a house big enough for you and 9 kids. That's 10 people in the house. You need at minimum 5 bedrooms. Minimum. And about 3 bathrooms. That's a big old house. Okay? You need proper accommodations. That girl probably ain't got no privacy or nothing. The mama probably taking her frustrations out on that girl. That girl can't concentrate in school. That girl cannot be a normal 14-year-old girl because she's not living a normal life. Excuse me, but let's move on to the CPS worker. This stinks. This reeks of a sex trafficking ring that is operating inside of CPS. Because you can't tell me in 2019, under 40 kids and young teens were not able to be placed in a stable foster home. Now it's 400. And that was from 2021. It might be even more now in 2022. And you got them in hotels. Oh, that's just right for the picking right there. Listen. The CPS would be the perfect place to run a trafficking ring. Because what you figure is nobody's really paying attention to these leftover children. Especially the ones around her age. They're not going to get adopted or anything like that. Just let's assuming they don't have a biological parent to go to. And they've been in the system their whole life. Nobody's coming to adopt a 14, 15, 16-year-old. They're going to age out of the system. Okay? Might as well make your money off of them. Because guess what? These are leftover children. Ain't nobody gonna miss these kids or that's the sentiment, that's the thought pattern, that's the hope that these kids are going to fall through the cracks in such a drastic way that nobody's going to really miss these kids or be trying to follow up, because these caseworkers have such a big caseload. I doubt that any of this stuff is running efficiently. Anytime you got to put teenagers in a hotel room, that a hotel is a place of transience. People are traveling in and out. There is no set people that's in and out of a hotel. How do you keep account of who go in and who go out? Who's the staff members and who not? You can't watch these teens. They have people coming in and out of the hotel room through their own volition, or you got people like this CPS worker, a black woman, telling a black girl to sell your body. If you hungry, if you're gonna be a 304, be a good 304. This is the advice that these hyenas is giving girls. And then we wonder why the girls grow up with all of this trauma and baggage so young. How did you get baggage at 20? Why do you have baggage at 18? Why do you have baggage at 17? Why do you have baggage at 19? Because of stuff like this. She already got baggage coming from the house she coming from. Then she go outside of the home to try to get some help and assistance because she need help and assistance. And this is the help that you give her. The help you give her is, hey, break it down, bust it open for some money. If the lost value system was a person. Okay? If the lost value system was a person. Tell me you part of the lost value system without telling me you part of the lost value system. You can't tell me that was in any way, shape, or form a good idea to tell a 14-year-old girl who's likely still a virgin. If ain't nobody been messing with her, she probably still a virgin. And you telling her that she can make $1,500, that's a real set amount of money. Let's think about that for a second, y'all. That's a real set amount of money. That ain't no random dollar amount that you just came up with. Sound like to me, she know who to call who gonna pay $1,500 for this girl. That's what it sound like to me. She ain't operating on her own because hyenas is too scary to operate on their own. She with somebody. It's a few of them making arrangements and picking out the ones that they think are the most vulnerable out of the vulnerable. Oh, her mama got 9 kids. She ain't gonna be worried about this one. And because they're black kids, ain't nobody gonna look. Ain't nobody gonna investigate. The girl herself had to capture the CPS worker saying it and then put her on blast. That's how this story got out. Had that young girl not had the wherewithal to record this foolishness, we wouldn't even know. Next thing you know, that girl will be somewhere on some type of drug trying to get out of her mind because she done ended up in a sex trafficking ring. And the next thing you know, the next 6 years of her life, 10 years of her life is spent on her back being a prostitute. And she don't know how she got into that. And it'll be her mama's fault because you set that girl up for failure. No shame to traffic a vulnerable 14-year-old. She need help, and I guess you gonna help her. That's how you gonna help her, because that's how you help yourself. Anytime you need a few dollars or a bill paid, that's what you do. So you gonna tell her how to do it. This is where we are when we don't pay attention and when we don't have a proper value system. Okay? When we don't pay attention to family values specifically. The single mother archetype is not a valid family structure. It is not. Because the more kids you have in that setting, the more vulnerable these kids become to predation. Predators from every side, because these are the vulnerable. You can't watch them all. You're not even interested in watching them all. You don't even have care about the kids that you had. You don't even have care about them. So yeah, anybody can come along and pick these kids off. Just pick them off. This is what we open our children up to when we ignore a value system, when we ignore the family value. We open them up to all of these ills of society, to the dregs of society, to be trafficked, to be deleted, okay, to turn their life upside down and end up being drug addicts or career criminals or career prostitutes. They'll be somewhere getting interviewed on Soft Underbelly before you know it. These decisions, that mother's decision to keep on having baby after baby after baby because the state gonna help her with them. This is how these girls and these teenage boys and stuff like that get into the trouble that they get into. Because of the ill decisions of these so-called mothers. She put her daughter in harm's way. How you avoid that is you try to your best to create a stable environment with a stable relationship in a marriage with a man before you start birthing these children out, so you can have some real help in that house. The government help is not help. That Section 8 and all that kind of stuff, them EBT cards ain't helped her raise that girl. That ain't stopped that girl from acting out and running away because she's frustrated. No shame. Then you want somebody to coddle you. Then you want to turn around and blame the men. Well, where the father at? The mama right there. Where is she? And what is she doing? But ruining these babies. Over and over and over again, every generation, and ain't nobody supposed to say nothing. You get out of here with that. You knock that off. Anyway, let me draw everybody's attention to the Black Lives Matter petition that we have. The link to that petition is in the description box. If you want to be part of holding Black Lives Matter as an organization accountable for the theft of more than $90 million in donated funds, please go ahead and open up the description box, hit the link, sign the petition, share it, and also contribute to it if you can. Also, sound off in the comment section. Let me know what you think about this. Like, share, subscribe to the channel if you have not. Once again, I'm your host, The Crimson Cure, and this was my perspective. Bye-bye, Crimsonites.
Hey guys, please like, share, and subscribe to the channel and hit the notification bell. And if you've got more to say on the topic, leave a comment down below. Also, don't forget to support our sponsor, who so graciously supports this channel by clicking the description box and the link for A-Game at agameherbal.com. You can go ahead and get a 10% discount off of your next purchase using the code Kendra10. This has been yet another Crimson Cure production, and I'll catch you guys on the next one.